Right, so welcome back to another video on this channel, and in today's video we are going to be discussing the downfall of Liverpool Football Club this season after they won the Premier League last season so comfortably. This season has not really gone to plan for them, I'm not going to lie, because of course the last 6 games now at Anfield they have lost. They've lost 6 of the last 7 games now in any Premier League game in general. It's just really not going right for Liverpool on the pitch at this moment in time, and what I want to do in this video is go through some of the reasons why I think this downfall has occurred, and also whether or not I actually think they can get this back and obviously retain the Premier League title next season or whatever. And that's exactly what we're going to be doing in today's video. But before we do get into this video, I would quickly like to ask you guys to subscribe to the channel if you are new, because we are looking to hit 1,500 subscribers on this channel as soon as we possibly can, so every subscriber helps. If you hit that subscribe button right now, it would cost you absolutely nothing and would make my day, so it is very much a win-win situation. And yeah, without further ado, let's get into analysing the Liverpool downfall and whether or not they can actually bring it back. So firstly, I want to go into some of the reasons why I personally feel like this downfall has actually happened for Liverpool and Jurgen Klopp, and obviously the main one we do go to is the amount of injuries they have had, especially in defensive areas. You think of Virgil van Dijk, the main one, who I think is absolutely massive, not only from a defensive standpoint, but also in terms of the fact that Liverpool like to build from the back, and Virgil van Dijk obviously plays a massive role in that. Joel Matip, Joe Gomez as well, massive misses. Fabinho, who's been gone for most of the season. Jordan Henderson, who I think is absolutely massive in that Liverpool midfield and has been a massive miss whenever he has missed games. Even Diogo Jota, who's proved this season that he's actually been a really good competition for the likes of Mohamed Salah, Sadio Mane and Roberto Firmino in that Liverpool front three. He's been missing for a lot as well. Alisson's been missing for a bit, even Alexander-Arnold for spells. So Liverpool have really not been done well with injuries this season. I think that's definitely, even though you can see it as an excuse, it's definitely something you cannot take for granted really, because Liverpool have really struggled with injuries this season and in very key areas as well. And I think with those injuries as well, especially with Jordan Henderson and Virgil van Dijk, who are two main examples I would use for this point, the leadership just isn't there at this moment in time for Liverpool on the pitch. You saw it against Chelsea and against Fulham in their last 2 defeats. No voices whatsoever on the pitch for Liverpool. There's nobody dragging them up a level like Jordan Henderson or Virgil van Dijk would, saying, you know what lads, this isn't good enough, we need to get together, we're going to win this game, we're going to turn this around, we have no choice. There's literally no one on the pitch doing this at this moment in time for Liverpool, and that is one of the main reasons why Liverpool have been doing so poorly, is because of those lack of voices and lack of leaders. There's a clear evidence to show that Liverpool are by far not the same team without Jordan Henderson in the team compared to when he's in the team, because he's such a massive leader, he's such a massive influence in terms of his vocality. I don't know if vocality is a word, but we're going to go for it. You know what I mean? Jordan Henderson is a massive leader and a massive figure in this Liverpool team that has been so successful over the years. Another thing as well, firstly with the injuries, of course, to Virgil van Dijk, Joe Gomez and Joel Matip, as I mentioned, because especially before January, before they signed Ozan Kabak or Ben Davis, you had to bring someone like Fabinho or Jordan Henderson back into centre-back, which I personally believe one of the main reasons that hasn't really been spoken about enough, in my opinion, is the unbalance that leaves in midfield with Fabinho or Jordan Henderson, or even both of them, having to come back into centre-half, and then you have a midfield trio of, mainly Thiago, Jorginho Wijnaldum and Curtis Jones, who yes, are very good players individually and can be as a unit, but there's no defensive stability whatsoever in that midfield. Curtis Jones, an attacking-minded midfielder, Thiago the same, who is more forward-thinking, and Wijnaldum the same, is kind of the more defensive out of the three of them, but even still is kind of a box-to-box and not a solely defensive-minded player like Jordan Henderson or Fabinho, for example. So I think that those injuries to the defenders for Liverpool actually do cause a lot of imbalance in other areas of the pitch, because of the fact that Jordan Henderson or Fabinho has to move back into those positions and actually cover for the injuries that have been left in the centre-back position, which I think is absolutely massive and has definitely been overlooked by a lot of analysis in terms of the actual downfall for Liverpool this season. And I think another thing as well, the perfect analogy I would use for this Liverpool and Jurgen Klopp team this season, you cannot complete the jigsaw puzzle without having some of the pieces. That's just the perfect analogy I would use, and that's one of the main reasons why I think I'll divert onto this point as well. The main reason we haven't seen the best from Thiago this season, it's no surprise whatsoever. Liverpool had their full strength team against Chelsea earlier on in the season, and I am a Chelsea fan for those of you who do not know that. When Liverpool came to Stamford Bridge and beat us 2-0, Thiago was absolutely immense in that game. He was man of the match, he controlled the midfield battle, and what did he have in that game? Virgil van Dijk and Joe Gomez behind him, and I think that you will definitely see the best of Thiago next season when those players come back in and he has a bit more stability defensively to be able to roam around the pitch and pass the ball around like he did for Bayern Munich last season and over the years. And that's why I keep going back to this point, you cannot complete a jigsaw puzzle without having the missing pieces, and that's one of the main reasons why Liverpool have struggled so much this season, because Jurgen Klopp doesn't have those missing pieces. And yeah, I think it definitely does take away from the overall team and the performance in general when you don't have players like Virgil van Dijk and all those injuries. As I said, I'm not going to list them all again, but they are important players players, and overall they do play to a system that Jurgen Klopp cannot utilise to its full capacity without those players in the team. On to the next point I have, and this is one that has circulated a bit in terms of Liverpool's criticism and of course in their viewing of where they're going to go next in the summer and next season and beyond. The front three of Liverpool, Mohamed Salah, Sadio Mane and Roberto Firmino. Is it time for them to break up? Is it time to see some fresh changes added to that front three? My quick answer is I'm probably going to have to say yes. I'm not going to lie. I think there is probably 1 or 2 changes needed to that front three. Don't get me wrong, I think one of them will leave in the summer and I think it will be Sadio Mane over everyone else. It just seems like Mane hasn't really performed to a level required this season, unlike Salah, and even though Firmino has been kind of poor, he's not an easy player to replace in this Liverpool setup. So I think Mane is the easy option to go for. I think he will leave and I think Diogo Jota will slot right into that place in the starting 11 next season, and I think that Liverpool will need to strengthen in terms of their depth next season in the summer in terms of an attacking sense, because Xherdan Shaqiri, Divock Origi as well, I don't think that, even though they're decent players, I don't think they're Liverpool standard to be able to push the likes of Salah, Firmino and Mane for a first choice position in that Liverpool team. And yeah, overall I feel like Liverpool do need some fresh ideas to this front three in particular, who have blown the Premier League and Europe in general away in the last few years with the goals they've scored and the emphasis they have on this Liverpool team's success in recent years. And overall, the final point I will allude to in this video is looking ahead to the future for Liverpool, because at this moment in time it looks really, really bleak, and at this moment in time you can't really pinpoint any games where Liverpool can actually pick up any points. If I look on my screen right now, they're 8th in the Premier League table, 28 games played. They played the game more than some of the teams below them and above them. They only have 43 points to their name, which is obviously very, very poor, and I'm not going to lie, they probably aren't going to get top 4 this season. This season is pretty much a write-off, and I think most Liverpool fans, actually in fairness to them, have actually accepted that now. But next season I think you get a fresh slate, the likes of Virgil van Dijk back from injury hopefully, Jordan Henderson the same, Joel Matip the same, even Fabinho, who hasn't really featured that much this season, will be back hopefully to full fitness, Diogo Jota the same. So I think next season what will happen in pre-season is, after Liverpool make a few changes to the squad, make a few strengthening to the squad in terms of an attacking sense especially, I think Jurgen Klopp will get the team back in pre-season. Likes of himself, Jordan Henderson and Virgil van Dijk will go, you know what lads, last season was a blip in the road, we're going to show the world once again why we are the team that still, we're still the team that won the league in 2020, and I think definitely Liverpool will be well and truly back into Premier League title contention next season. And I'm not going to lie, this is a big statement to say probably, but it would not surprise me whatsoever if Liverpool were to win the Premier League next season, because of the fact that they'll have the full jigsaw back. As I said, they will have all the elements back, and I think it would be very interesting to see actually how they go on next season. Will they be able to maintain that nickname they've had over the years of mentality monsters with the downfall they've had this season, which obviously is going to shoot your confidence. It's only natural to do that, but it should be very interesting to see how Liverpool and Jurgen Klopp in particular get on next season, with the fact that they'll have to regain that mentality monster attitude. I do think they will be back next season, so overall Liverpool fans, calm down a bit. It's not that worrying, even though obviously they're having a really poor season, but right off this season you'll be back next season in my personal opinion. And yeah, that is all I need to say in this video regarding Liverpool's downfall at this moment in time. So yeah, if you did enjoy this video, make sure to drop a like, because 20 likes on this video as per usual would be massively appreciated by myself, and also as I said at the start of this video, if you could leave a subscription, it would be absolutely massively appreciated. We're so close now to 1,500 subscribers. I want to hit it as soon as we possibly can, and yeah, I'll see you guys in my next video. Also leave your comments down in the comment section below on your opinions on Liverpool's downfall and whether or not they can actually bounce back from this next season, and yeah, I'll see you guys in my next video. See ya.